Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of my 1GP 2 Twisted Bow flipping series, where I'm attempting to earn a twisted bow from scratch in under 1 year. If I fail to do this, I'm going to be giving away all of the money that I've earned, as well as finding the spiciest pepper to eat for you guys on live stream. Well, this was an extremely chaotic week with some really big highs and some pretty low lows. I spent a lot of this week attempting to flip some of the more volatile items like the Mage's book, the arcane, the tome of fire, stuff like that, and I have finally started to flip some of the more expensive items like the rapier, and we could even do the scythe of Viter pretty soon. But overall, a very crazy week. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and let's get started. So we're starting the week at 725 mil, and I really want to focus on doing more expensive flips and just really trying to focus on active flipping expensive items. So we're just going to do stuff like the imbued heart. I mentioned I'm going to do the rapier a bit later into this. Stuff like that that's not good to leave for like a long period of time, but if you're there paying attention, you can get really good margins and quick flips as well. Now because of that, I have a lot more clips than normal, and I'm just really going to try to organize them in some kind of cohesive way. I just checked the Justiciar armor set. It has a pretty decent margin, not crazy by any means, but I think it's still about 250k. So I will go ahead and max it out at 7. These buy and sell really quickly, so it's definitely worth doing even if you're going to be waiting around for it. I remember when I invested in this item and I was so certain it was just a big price dip, and it turned out that a YouTuber was just mass buying them for his clan. Now we have the Sirens cudgel, which has been fluctuating in price a lot recently. I'll go ahead and try for 20 of them. The Sirens cudgel is actually quite a good crush weapon, and I think it's held its value well because there just aren't that many crush weapons that are accessible at that level. I'm also going to try buying the party hats and specs, although this is definitely a risky idea because of the Christmas event that is going to be happening pretty soon. Actually, that probably wouldn't be affected that much. Party hats are only about like 30k maximum, and I'll finish it off with a few gilded scimitars at about 20.4 mil. Oh, weird. We actually instantly bought one for 19.6. Not sure what to make of that, but I think I will probably continue to put an offer in. Maybe we'll put it a bit lower at maybe 19.3 mil. We got really lucky on the gilded scimitar. We ended up getting a 600k margin on 3 of them so far, and that's already 1.8 mil right there. And we also went ahead and bought a bunch more of them for only about a 100k margin, but they're not sold off yet. But still, 1.8 mil, that's very, very good. We also got around 430k on the Sirens cudgel and about 780k on the Saradomin Godsword ornament kit. And we have a couple interesting flips going on right now. We have the Earth Battle Staves, which we are currently getting a 200 GP margin on, which is very good. And we have a lot of them. We have 22,000. So that could be a 4 or 5 mil profit, depending on if all of these sell off. It's very slow. We've been waiting a long time for that. We're just going to readjust a few offers here. The Gilded Scimitar, we're looking to make about a 200k profit per scimitar. So that could be another 2 mil profit right there. Okay, I guess I'm going to do the Quorum Potion. We found about a 70 GP margin on it. Always worth doing if you get the chance. We're going to do double the buying limit for it. Only going to invest about 30 mil though. We have a 240 mil left and 2 offer slots. Right now we're looking at a 250k margin on the Basilisk Jaw, and I'll go ahead and invest all of my money into that for 7 of them. And last up here, we're going to do the Dragonstone boots, I guess. Kind of a weird item I found, but we're going to give it a try, and it should have a very good return on investment for how much money we have. That's going to be it for now. Okay, so you may notice that it is actually 3 days later, and that was kind of intentional. The last 3 days were fine. They were profitable to some degree, but it was just more of the same. I was doing a lot of the same items, and I have a lot of clips this week, so I thought I would just skip ahead to the more interesting flips, which didn't really start happening until today. Now, unfortunately, I ended up losing a ton of money on the Gilded Scimitar flip, probably about 4 mil in total. So on top of all the money I gained, I also lost a lot, so another reason why it just wasn't that interesting. And we finally sold off the Earth Battle Staves. That took actually 3 days. Probably not worth it, as we kind of broke even on a lot of them. Now, there's an item I've been dying to try a bit more, and that is the Grazi rapier. This item has been dropping in price a bit recently, but it's around 170 mil, and often I think you can get around 400 to 500k margins on it, which means if you do the full bind limit, that could be easily 2 or 3 mil in a very short amount of time. I was going to do the arcane right now, but I bitched out and didn't want to do it. It's very volatile right now, and I think it's just a little too risky. So that is what I'm going to opt in doing right now. I'm going to put in a few offers first. There's actually a pretty good margin on the Amulet of Eternal Glory, which we'll go ahead and put a few of them in for now. And I also noticed there was a really good margin on the Saradomin's tier of about 150k, which we'll go ahead and do maybe 15 of those guys as well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and price check one right now. It's not that risky as it's been in the game for a while and it's stabilized. Right now, about a 500k margin. That is very good. Again, we can only afford one because I did some bad math, but I'll probably go ahead and take a few offers out. Well, I will test run it with just one quantity right now. So for the rest of our offer slots, I'll put in a few more offers. We have the Mystic Smokestaff. We're going to do 15 of those. I actually found a really good margin on Dragon Javelin Heads. Haven't done that item in quite a long time. And finally, we're going to do 5 of the Ancient Wyvern Shields, and I'll come back with our Grazi Rapier flips. Okay, so the rapiers actually went pretty smoothly. We ended up doing 6 of them in total, and I managed to keep the 500k margin the entire time. Actually, I don't think it really changed at all, which was really nice to see, and we also did it pretty quickly in my opinion. You can see all the flips there. We ended up getting 500k in profit per flip, doing 6 of them, minus our price check means we made 2.5 million profit off of that in a very short amount of time. I'm very happy with that. And at the same time, I was also flipping Ranger boots, and we managed to get a 250k margin on those, which means we got another million profit there, bringing our total profit over the last couple of hours to 3.5 mil just from 2 different flips. And now that I've passed my 4-hour timer, I'm gonna go ahead and price check it again. There's no reason not to, although the price has gone up quite a bit today. Kind of hard to say what that means because overall the rapier has been on a downward trend, but I'll take it. That's another very, very good margin. And I'll go ahead and buy 2 of them. That is like another 400 or 450k margin, which again could be another 2 to 3 million profit, which would be awesome. Continuing on the trend of expensive items that will flip quickly, we're going to do the Dragon Claw, which we can afford maybe 3 of them at a time, but I will try to do the entire bind limit as it has a 150k margin, which is pretty good for Dragon Claws. Okay, man, things are moving very quickly right now. We already bought 2 of the rapiers, and we're going to sell them back for about an 850k profit. And our bludgeon flip is only about 80k, but that's decent enough. So we'll go ahead and do the rest of our money for bludgeons, and we'll leave 1 free offer slot for selling. I managed to do all 7 of the rapiers once again, and I managed to keep a 400k profit. After we sell off the one we have here, we'll be closer to 3.5 mil. Right now we're looking at about 2.7 mil in profit. Still very happy with that. We also managed to do a full bind limit of the Dragon Claws for around 120k margin, giving us around 720k in total. On the bludgeons, I got around 385k on, and pretty much broke even on everything else. And we managed to get probably like 5 or 6 mil today just on that single item. It is very expensive, but pretty high demand for it. On the entire set of flips, I managed to get about 4.3 mil in profit. So it is now about 8 p.m. So I'm going to be putting in some overnight flips. I really hope this rapier sells overnight, otherwise we could lose a bit of money on it. The item is kind of unstable, so I feel a bit hesitant leaving that in, but we're going to risk it, I think. I've been struggling a bit to find some overnight flips, but I'm settling on the Fury Ornament Kit and the Arcane Prayer Scroll. You know what, guys, with the last bit of our money, I'm probably just going to go ahead and put in a Justiciar armor set combination. We have about 3 offer slots left and a fair bit of money. I believe I can afford 7 of them, so we'll go ahead and put those in for now. See if my math was correct. And it was not even close. My god, I'm so bad. Okay, I'll go ahead and fix that, but I will see you tomorrow with hopefully some successful flips. So yeah, they canceled the Sirens tome, so everything's going crazy right now. The Arcane Spirit Shield went back up like 20 mil. The Mage's book is down to 4.3 mil. I woke up this morning and I saw that Mage's books had crashed. I didn't know why. I'm like, well, hell yeah, I'm gonna go buy these because they're actually cheaper than what they were before. But yeah, apparently there's no more Sirens tome, so that is why they crashed. That being said, I still think this was a good investment because before all of this, Mage's books were like 4.8 or 5 mils. I think this is a larger dip than it would normally be as so many people are dumping their Mage's book right now just to get rid of it. So essentially, I was able to buy about 14 Mage's books for about 4.3 mil, which I'm going to hold on for a bit longer. We are checking the price on GE Tracker right here. GE Tracker is a sponsor of mine, pretty much integral for getting the most up-to-date prices you can, especially when big events like this happen. Now, I'm going to try selling the Mage's book for $47.50. Now, I'm not really sure what's going to happen to the Mage's book. I'm assuming it's going to go up. And while I think I could probably even hold this for longer and try to get maybe 5 mil, in my opinion, especially considering the series I'm doing, it doesn't really make sense to hold on to an item for a week or even 2 weeks. That's just too long for something like the series I'm doing. That being said, if we sell it for $47.50, that is going to be about a 450k profit on around 14 Mage's books, which would be a very good profit regardless. Now, I totally forgot to look at my overnight profit, but it was pretty minimal. We only got a 50k margin on the Justiciar armor set combination. But this morning I woke up and everything is in chaos, so let's just take a few risks here. We already did it on the Mage's book. Next up here, we're gonna have a look at the Kodai wand. That's another 200k margin on the Kodai wand. I'll just start off with 2 of those guys. Next up here, I'm thinking of doing the rapier once again. It's back down to 174.3 mil. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, actually, I ended up losing a mil on the rapier overnight. I'm not actually sure where that clip went, but I'll try to get that back with another rapier flip of a what? Oh my god, it's a 1 mil margin right now on the rapier. That is crazy. I really hope I can flip at least a couple of those, at least to get my money back. That's mostly what I'm going to do for active flips. I'm also going to put in a few slower flips like the Saradomin Godsword Ornament Kit. I'm actually going to try the Granite Hammer. It has a very good margin for its price, although the bind limit is a bit small, only 8, but it's still a 60k margin, a pretty good ROI. And I'm also going to do the Twisted Buckler. Honestly, I'll probably just need to leave 2 offer slots available to sell off the Rapier and the Kodai Wand as I get it, because that flip is way more important than anything else I can put in these offer slots. So yeah, a pretty intense start to December 12th, but let's see what we can do. Well, that didn't take long at all. Okay, well, maybe I should have held on to those longer. You know what, whatever. I'm happy with the amount of money we made on it. We did manage to sell them for about a 450k profit. And we did 13 of them, which means we made close to 6 mil on that. Considering that only took about half an hour, I'm very happy with that. But you know what? I can actually go ahead and claim everything. We can see how much money we are at. And the answer to that is 753 mil. And we started at 725, which means we are 30 mil up already. So it's been a very good week so far. I would attribute a lot of that to just focusing more on active flipping, focusing more on high margin in-market items, stuff like that. And of course, this giant market crash can't hurt. Well, actually, it can hurt quite a lot. I'm very lucky I didn't get caught holding on to Mage's books too long or anything like that. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and try the rapiers again, as I didn't actually end up waiting very long for those. We're going to try for more of the Kodai wands. I'm going to buy a few of the gilded scimitars. We're going to go for 4 of them right now. Next up here, we're going to do the arcane prayer scroll. I'm going to go for 10 of them. Another item that has been affected quite a bit by these new updates is the Tome of Fire, but I haven't actually flipped it all recently. And after price checking it, the current margin is actually about 80,000 GP. Definitely worth going for right now. We'll do a full bind limit of that. And the last item I'm going to be actively flipping right now is the Dragon Claws, and I'll go ahead and do 4 of those. And we're going to call that a day. I'll check back in a little bit. Well, still no luck on the Rapier. We didn't end up actually buying any of them, unfortunately. The margin must have changed way too quickly. However, I did get a pretty good margin on the items I did successfully buy. The Tomes of Fire, we did all of them for about a 65k margin. And the Kodai wands, we ended up getting about 525k on. Another 3 of them, a good margin. We didn't quite do the full bind limit though. And Dragon Claws, we just got about 400k on. Nothing amazing, but that's still 1.7 mil. It's the same day. Now, I'm finally going to do it, guys. We're going to try flipping the Arcane Spirit Shield because, like I mentioned earlier, the Sirens Tome is not coming into the game. So 135 mil is still a bit cheaper than where the Arcane Spirit Shield was at before this update dropped, which leads me to believe that it shouldn't drop further than this. That is a very bold assumption. But we're going on about an 800k margin right now, so I think it's worth taking a risk. If we can get in and out quickly, we could make like another 4 or 5 mil just in the Arcane. I'm also doing a price check on the Dragon Warhammer right now, showing about a 130k margin. That is very good. Again, I can flip it very quickly. I'll go ahead and buy 4 of those ones. Okay, we already got 2 Dragon Warhammers, which we'll dump in there already for about a 300k profit. So I'm also going to be putting in a few longer term flips like the Saradomin Godsword Ornament Kit. Not that I have really been buying any of these items. I don't really know what the deal is. Everything is just changing so quickly that it's almost pointless to leave things in for a long period of time. We're also going to try the Feminine Kilt. We're going to do the Granite Boots. Actually, we have an Arcane Spirit Shield that came through, so we might as well try to get that sold as quickly as possible. And that's going to be it for today, guys. Let's check in tomorrow and see the results. Which leads me to believe that it should drop further than this. Well, I am eating my own words here. I just lost a ton of money on the Arcane Spirit Shield. I left it in overnight and it didn't sell. And we woke up this morning and it was only 131 mil, which means I lost 7.2 mil on the item, which is probably one of our largest losses so far. It could have been way worse still. I'm not very happy with that, and kind of a weird way to end the episode, but we did end up making about 2 mil-ish on some of our other items, like a mil on the Ring of Nature somehow, 720k on the Ancient Wyvern Shield, and 500k on the Toxic Trident. So our overall loss was only 4.9 mil. This kind of illustrates perfectly how this week went. So you know what? I think it's pretty accurate to include it, which brings us pretty much right back to 753 mil, which means we're ending the episode at about a 28 mil profit. Would have been probably closer to 35 had we not lost all that money at the end there, but that's part of flipping. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate it if you left me some feedback, left me a like, anything you want, and I will see you next week.